Hi and welcome to Apex Atlas. Morocco sits at the crossroads of Africa, Europe, and the Middle East. Positioned at the northwestern edge of the African continent, it faces both the Atlantic Ocean and the Mediterranean Sea while standing only a narrow strait away from Europe. For centuries, Morocco has been a meeting point of cultures, trade routes, and civilizations. Berber traditions, Arab heritage, Islamic scholarship, and European influences have all shaped the nation's identity. The country's landscapes are among the most diverse in North Africa. In the north, fertile plains and coastal cities overlook the Mediterranean. Moving inland, the towering Atlas Mountains divide the country into distinct regions, separating green valleys from the vast deserts that stretch toward the Sahara. To the south and east, the landscape gradually transforms into arid plateaus and the famous sand seas of the Sahara Desert, where towering dunes rise above ancient caravan routes once used by traders crossing Africa. Morocco's cities reflect centuries of history. Imperial capitals such as Marrakesh, Fez, Rabat, and Meknes preserve historic medinas, mosques and palaces that date back hundreds of years. At the same time, modern Morocco is a dynamic nation balancing tradition with development. Its economy combines agriculture, tourism, industry, and trade, while its culture continues to celebrate music, craft traditions, and community life. This video of Morocco explores the country's landscapes, history, culture, and everyday life, revealing a nation shaped by desert winds, mountain peaks, and centuries of cultural exchange. Landscapes and borders. Morocco occupies a strategic position in the far northwest of Africa, where the continent meets both the Atlantic Ocean and the Mediterranean Sea. This location has shaped Morocco's geography, climate, and historical connections with Europe, the Middle East, and the wider African continent. Morocco shares land borders with Algeria to the east and Western Sahara to the south. To the north lies the Mediterranean Sea, while the long western coastline stretches along the Atlantic Ocean. At its narrowest point, Morocco is separated from Europe by the Strait of Gibraltar, a waterway only about 14 kilometers wide that connects the Mediterranean to the Atlantic. Morocco's landscapes are among the most geographically diverse in North Africa. The country can broadly be divided into several major regions, each with distinct terrain and ecosystems. In the north, the Rif Mountains run parallel to the Mediterranean coastline. These mountains are known for their steep slopes, forested valleys, and cooler climate compared with much of the country. The region supports agriculture, particularly olives and grains, and contains numerous traditional villages. Further south rise the dramatic Atlas Mountains, one of the most important geographical features of Morocco. The Atlas system is divided into three main sections: the Middle Atlas, High Atlas, and Anti-Atlas ranges. These mountains form a natural barrier that separates the fertile coastal plains from the arid deserts further inland. The Mount Toubkal, located in the High Atlas, is the highest peak in North Africa at 4,167 meters above sea level. Snow often covers its summit during winter, contrasting sharply with the desert landscapes that lie further south. Beyond the mountains, the terrain gradually becomes more arid as it approaches the edges of the Sahara Desert. In southeastern Morocco, vast sand dunes, rocky plateaus, and dry valleys dominate the landscape. These desert regions were historically part of major caravan routes that connected North Africa with sub-Saharan trade networks. Along the western side of the country, fertile plains stretch between the mountains and the Atlantic coast. These plains are among Morocco's most productive agricultural regions, supporting crops such as wheat, citrus fruits, olives, and vegetables. Morocco's coastline extends for more than 3,500 kilometers when both Atlantic and Mediterranean shores are included. Coastal cliffs, sandy beaches, fishing towns, and major port cities define these maritime landscapes. The Atlantic coast is generally more rugged and windswept, while the Mediterranean shoreline in the north is often calmer and more sheltered. Together, mountains, deserts, plains, and coastlines create a remarkably varied physical geography. This diversity has shaped settlement patterns, agriculture, and trade routes throughout Moroccan history. Climate and seasons. Morocco's climate varies significantly across the country due to its diverse geography. Coastal influences, high mountain ranges, and proximity to the Sahara Desert create several distinct climate zones within a relatively short distance. Along the northern Mediterranean coast and much of the Atlantic shoreline, Morocco experiences a Mediterranean-style climate. Summers are generally warm and dry, while winters are mild with moderate rainfall. Coastal breezes from the ocean help moderate temperatures, especially in cities located along the Atlantic coast. Further inland, the climate becomes more continental. Summers can be considerably hotter, particularly in the interior plains and valleys. Winter temperatures may drop noticeably at night, especially in areas farther from the ocean's moderating influence. The Atlas Mountains create another distinct climate zone. Higher elevations experience cooler conditions throughout the year, and snowfall is common during winter months. Mountain villages and high-altitude valleys often see significant seasonal variation, with cold winters and mild summers. South and east of the Atlas Ranges, the climate becomes increasingly arid as the landscape transitions toward the Sahara. These desert regions experience extremely hot summers, with daytime temperatures frequently exceeding 40 degrees Celsius. Rainfall is rare and highly irregular, while nights can become surprisingly cool due to the dry desert air. Seasonally, Morocco is generally divided into 4 periods. Spring, March-May, is often considered one of the most pleasant times of year, with mild temperatures and green landscapes in many regions. Summer, June-August, brings high temperatures inland and in desert areas, though coastal regions remain somewhat cooler. Autumn, September-November, brings gradually decreasing temperatures and stable weather conditions. Winter, December-February, is mild along the coast but colder in the mountains, where snowfall is common. Rainfall patterns vary widely. Northern regions and mountain slopes receive the most precipitation, while southern desert areas remain extremely dry throughout most of the year. This wide climatic variation allows Morocco to support many different environments, from fertile farmland and cedar forests to high mountain terrain and vast desert landscapes. Wildlife and biodiversity. The diverse landscapes of Morocco support a wide range of ecosystems and wildlife. From mountain forests and fertile valleys to arid deserts and coastal wetlands, the country hosts an impressive variety of plant and animal species adapted to different environments. One of Morocco's most well-known native animals is the Berber macaque, a primate found mainly in the cedar forests of the Middle Atlas Mountains. These monkeys are among the only wild primates in North Africa and are particularly associated with the forests around Ifrane and Azrou. Their survival depends on the preservation of high-altitude woodland habitats. The Atlas Mountains themselves contain rich biodiversity. Forests of cedar, oak, and pine support animals such as wild boar, foxes, jackals, and numerous bird species. High-altitude ecosystems also host reptiles and amphibians adapted to cooler mountain conditions. In the desert regions bordering the Sahara Desert, wildlife has evolved to survive extreme heat and limited water availability. Species such as desert foxes, lizards, and small rodents are well adapted to these harsh conditions. Many desert animals are nocturnal, becoming active at night when temperatures drop. Morocco's coastline also supports important ecosystems. Wetlands, estuaries, and coastal lagoons provide habitat for migratory birds traveling between Europe and Africa. Flamingos, herons, and other waterbirds can often be seen in these areas. Marine biodiversity along the Atlantic coast includes numerous fish species, dolphins, and other marine life. Coastal upwelling currents bring nutrient-rich waters to the surface, supporting productive fishing grounds that have long been important for local communities. Plant life varies widely depending on climate and elevation. Northern regions contain Mediterranean vegetation, while mountain forests support cedar and oak trees. In contrast, desert landscapes feature drought-resistant plants such as acacia and hardy shrubs. Conservation efforts in Morocco focus on protecting key habitats such as mountain forests, wetlands, and desert ecosystems. Several protected areas and national parks have been established to safeguard biodiversity and maintain ecological balance. Together, Morocco's wildlife and biodiversity reflect the country's extraordinary geographic diversity, where mountains, deserts, and oceans create a range of natural environments rarely found within a single nation. National parks and reserves. Morocco has established a network of protected areas designed to preserve its diverse ecosystems and wildlife. These national parks and reserves protect landscapes ranging from high mountain forests to coastal wetlands and desert environments. One of the most important protected areas is Toubkal National Park, located in the high Atlas Mountains. Created in 1942, it surrounds Mount Toubkal, the tallest peak in North Africa. The park protects alpine valleys, mountain forests, and traditional Berber villages, and it is one of Morocco's most popular destinations for trekking and mountaineering. In the Middle Atlas region, Ifrane National Park protects cedar forests that provide habitat for the Barbary macaque and numerous bird species. The park's landscapes include forests, lakes, and highland plateaus, creating a cooler environment that contrasts sharply with Morocco's desert regions. Further south along the Atlantic coast lies Soussmassa National Park, an important sanctuary for migratory birds. The park's wetlands and coastal cliffs support rare species such as the northern bald ibis, one of the world's most endangered birds. Another important protected area is Kenefis National Park, located near the edge of the Sahara along Morocco's southern coastline. This park protects coastal lagoons, desert landscapes, and marine habitats that support both wildlife and traditional fishing communities. In addition to national parks, Morocco maintains several biological reserves and protected forest areas aimed at conserving fragile ecosystems. These initiatives focus on safeguarding mountain forests, wetlands, and desert biodiversity. Together, Morocco's national parks and reserves help protect the country's natural heritage while promoting sustainable tourism and environmental awareness. Mountains and hiking routes. Mountains dominate much of the landscape of Morocco, creating some of the most dramatic terrain in North Africa. Several major mountain systems cross the country, providing opportunities for trekking, mountaineering, and exploring remote rural regions. The most famous range is the Atlas Mountains, which stretches across the center of Morocco for over 2,000 kilometers. This mountain system is divided into the Middle Atlas, High Atlas, and Anti-Atlas ranges, each with its own landscapes and hiking opportunities. The High Atlas contains Morocco's tallest peaks and most challenging trekking routes. At its center rises Mount Toubkal, reaching 4,167 meters above sea level. The mountain attracts climbers from around the world and can often be climbed in 2 days with an overnight stay at a mountain refuge. From the summit, hikers can view snow-covered peaks, deep valleys, and the vast plains that stretch toward the Sahara. Many trekking routes in the High Atlas pass through traditional Berber villages, terraced farmland, and mountain valleys. These trails allow visitors to experience rural life in remote communities that have existed for centuries. North of the Atlas Mountains lies the Rif Mountains, a rugged range running along the Mediterranean coast. The Rif region is known for steep hillsides, forested slopes, and scenic viewpoints overlooking the sea. Hiking routes here are often quieter than those in the Atlas but offer impressive landscapes and cultural experiences. The Middle Atlas Mountains are characterized by cedar forests, lakes, and high plateaus. Trails through these forests provide opportunities to observe wildlife such as the Barbary macaque while exploring cooler mountain environments. Further south, the Anti-Atlas Mountains present a different landscape of rocky ridges and arid valleys. Though less visited than the High Atlas, they offer remote trekking routes and striking desert mountain scenery. Across Morocco, mountain trekking routes range from short-day hikes to multi-day expeditions crossing high passes and remote valleys. These trails highlight the country's extraordinary geographic diversity and the enduring traditions of the mountain communities that inhabit these regions. Natural wonders. The landscapes of Morocco contain some of the most striking natural landmarks in North Africa. Shaped by tectonic forces, desert winds, and seasonal rivers, the country's terrain features mountains, deep gorges, waterfalls, and vast desert dunes. One of Morocco's most iconic natural environments lies along the edge of the Sahara Desert. In southeastern Morocco, immense sand dunes form spectacular landscapes known as ergs. Among the most famous are the dunes of Erg Chebbi, where golden sand hills rise more than 150 meters above the desert floor. These dunes shift slowly over time under the influence of desert winds, creating constantly changing patterns. Another remarkable landscape feature is the Toja Gorge, located on the eastern side of the Atlas Mountains. Here, steep limestone cliffs rise dramatically on both sides of a narrow river valley, creating a canyon that reaches heights of over 300 meters. The gorge is a popular destination for hiking and rock climbing. In the Middle Atlas region, Ouzoud Falls represent one of the country's most impressive waterfalls. Cascading down a series of rocky cliffs, the falls drop more than 100 meters into a lush river valley surrounded by olive groves and forested hillsides. Rainbows frequently appear in the mist created by the falling water. Morocco's Atlantic coastline also contains unique natural formations. One well-known example is Lexra Beach, famous for its large natural rock arches carved by ocean waves and wind erosion. These dramatic coastal features highlight the powerful forces shaping Morocco's shoreline. In addition to these landmarks, Morocco's natural wonders include palm-filled oases, high mountain valleys, volcanic plateaus, and desert landscapes stretching toward the horizon. Together, These geological formations illustrate the country's extraordinary environmental diversity, where mountains, deserts, and oceans combine to create some of the most distinctive natural scenery in the region. Rivers and lakes. Although much of Morocco is known for arid and desert landscapes, rivers and lakes play an essential role in shaping the country's environment and supporting agriculture and human settlement. Many of Morocco's rivers originate in the high mountain ranges before flowing toward fertile plains or disappearing into desert regions. One of the longest rivers in the country is the Drara River. It begins in the high Atlas Mountains and flows southward through a series of palm-filled oases before eventually reaching the edge of the Sahara. Along its course, the river creates fertile valleys where communities cultivate dates, grains, and vegetables in otherwise dry landscapes. Another important river is the Arba River, which rises in the middle Atlas Mountains and flows westward toward the Atlantic Ocean. It is one of Morocco's most significant rivers for agriculture and water supply. The river supports irrigation systems that sustain farmland across central Morocco. In eastern Morocco, the Ziz River flows through dramatic desert valleys and oasis settlements. Its waters sustain date palm groves and agricultural communities in regions where rainfall is extremely limited. Morocco also contains several mountain lakes, particularly in the Middle Atlas region. One example is Dayat Aoua, a scenic lake surrounded by cedar forests and wildlife habitats. These lakes provide important freshwater ecosystems and serve as resting points for migratory birds traveling between Europe and Africa. Seasonal rivers and dry riverbeds, known locally as wadis, are also common across Morocco. During periods of rainfall or snowmelt from the Atlas Mountains, these channels may temporarily carry significant volumes of water before drying again in warmer months. Overall, Morocco's river systems are closely linked to mountain snowmelt and seasonal rainfall. They support agriculture, sustain desert oases, and provide vital freshwater resources across the country. Caving and underworlds. Beneath the varied landscapes of Morocco lies a network of caves and underground formations shaped by geological processes over thousands of years. Although Morocco is best known for its mountains and deserts, several regions contain limestone formations that have produced impressive cave systems. One of the most famous caves in the country is Friouato Cave, located near the city of Taza in northern Morocco. This cave is considered one of the deepest natural caverns in North Africa. Visitors descend a long staircase into the cave's interior, where vast chambers and stalactite formations reveal the slow geological processes that created the cavern over millennia. Further south in the Atlas Mountains lies Wintimdouine Cave, one of the longest known cave systems in Africa. This underground network extends for many kilometers beneath the mountain landscape and contains subterranean rivers that flow through hidden passages and chambers. The formation of these caves is largely due to the presence of limestone rock in parts of the Atlas Mountains. Over time, slightly acidic rainwater dissolves the rock, gradually creating underground passages, caverns, and sinkholes. Many caves in Morocco remain unexplored or accessible only to experienced speleologists. Some contain delicate mineral formations such as stalactites and stalagmites that have developed slowly over thousands of years as mineral-rich water drips through the rock. In addition to large caves, smaller underground features can be found in mountainous regions and desert plateaus. These natural cavities sometimes served as shelters for early human communities or travelers moving through remote landscapes. Morocco's caves therefore represent an often overlooked aspect of the country's geology, revealing hidden landscapes beneath the mountains that contrast sharply with the deserts and plains above. Festivals and celebrations. Festivals play an important role in the cultural life of Morocco, reflecting the country's religious traditions, historical heritage, and diverse regional cultures. Throughout the year, communities across Morocco celebrate a mixture of Islamic religious festivals, cultural gatherings, and local traditions. Many of Morocco's most significant celebrations are linked to the Islamic calendar. Eid al-Fitr marks the end of the holy month of Ramadan and is celebrated with family gatherings, shared meals, and charitable giving. Another major religious holiday is Eid al-Adha, which commemorates the willingness of Ibrahim to sacrifice his son as an act of faith. During this festival, families often prepare special meals and participate in communal prayer. Morocco also hosts a number of internationally recognized cultural festivals. One of the most prominent is the Fez Festival of World Sacred Music, held annually in the historic city of Fez. The festival brings together musicians from around the world and celebrates spiritual music traditions from different cultures and religions. In the Atlas Mountains, traditional gatherings such as the Immersion marriage festival highlight local Berber culture. Historically, this event served as a meeting place where members of different tribes could gather and young couples could announce engagements and marriages. Cities such as Marrakesh also host cultural and artistic events throughout the year, including film festivals, music performances, and folklore celebrations. Traditional festivals often feature colorful clothing, regional music, dancing, and local cuisine. Markets and public squares fill with visitors and residents celebrating together, reflecting Morocco's strong community traditions. These celebrations demonstrate how Morocco preserves its historical customs while welcoming cultural exchange and international participation. Food and drink. Cuisine in Morocco is renowned for its rich flavors, aromatic spices, and centuries-old culinary traditions. Moroccan food reflects the country's diverse cultural influences, combining Berber, Arab, Andalusian and Mediterranean elements into a distinctive national cuisine. One of the most famous Moroccan dishes is the tagine, a slow-cooked stew prepared in a traditional clay cooking vessel of the same name. Tagines often combine meats such as lamb or chicken with vegetables, dried fruits, olives, and spices. The slow cooking process allows the flavors to blend together, creating deeply aromatic meals that are served throughout the country. Another staple of Moroccan cuisine is couscous. Made from steamed semolina grains, couscous is often served with vegetables, chickpeas, and meat in a fragrant broth. It is commonly prepared for family meals and special occasions and is traditionally eaten on Fridays after communal prayers. Moroccan cooking relies heavily on spices and herbs. Ingredients such as cumin, saffron, cinnamon, turmeric, and paprika are widely used to create layered flavors. These spices are often sold in colorful displays within traditional markets known as souks. Tea plays a central role in Moroccan hospitality. Moroccan mint tea is typically made by brewing green tea with fresh mint leaves and sugar. The tea is poured from a height into small glasses, creating a light foam and symbolizing generosity and welcome. Street food and market stalls also form an important part of everyday food culture. Visitors can find freshly baked bread, grilled meats, pastries, and seasonal fruits in bustling marketplaces across cities such as Marrakesh and Fez. Morocco's coastal regions also feature seafood dishes, particularly along the Atlantic coast where fishing communities provide fresh catches daily. Together, Moroccan cuisine reflects a blend of tradition, regional ingredients, and cultural exchange, making food one of the most celebrated aspects of the country's identity. Arts and music. Artistic expression has long been an important part of the cultural identity of Morocco. The country's arts and music reflect centuries of cultural exchange between Berber, Arab, Andalusian, and African traditions, creating a vibrant and diverse artistic heritage. Music plays a central role in Moroccan culture and varies widely between regions. One of the most distinctive musical traditions is Nawawa music, which blends African rhythms, spiritual chants, and traditional instruments such as the gwembri and metal castanets. Nawawa music has deep historical roots connected to sub-Saharan African communities and is often associated with ceremonial performances. Traditional Berber music is another important part of Morocco's musical landscape. In the Atlas Mountains and rural regions, songs are often performed with drums, flutes, and stringed instruments during festivals, weddings, and community celebrations. These performances frequently include group dancing and storytelling. Urban musical traditions have also been shaped by historical connections with Andalusia in southern Spain. Andalusian classical music, introduced centuries ago, remains an important cultural form performed during formal concerts and cultural events. Moroccan visual arts are equally distinctive. One of the most recognizable artistic styles is zellage, a geometric mosaic tilework commonly used in architecture. Skilled artisans carefully arrange colorful tiles into intricate patterns that decorate mosques, palaces, and public buildings. Other traditional crafts include wood carving, metalwork, leather tanning, and textile weaving. These art forms are often passed down through generations of artisans working in historic workshops within the medinas of cities such as Fez and Marrakesh. Modern Moroccan artists and musicians continue to build on these traditions while incorporating contemporary influences. Today, Morocco's art scene includes galleries, music festivals, and cultural institutions that showcase both traditional and modern creative expression. Together, Moroccan arts and music reflect the country's long history as a cultural crossroads connecting Africa, the Middle East, and Europe. Language and literature. Language in Morocco reflects the country's complex cultural history and diverse population. Several languages are widely used, each representing different historical and cultural influences. The two official languages are Arabic and Berber, also known as Amazigh. Arabic is used in government, media, and formal communication, while Moroccan Arabic, Darija, is commonly spoken in everyday conversation. Berber languages have been spoken in the region for thousands of years and remain widely used in rural areas, particularly in the Atlas Mountains and parts of the Sahara. The Amazigh language family includes several regional dialects and is written using the Typhona alphabet. French also plays an important role in Moroccan society due to the country's 20th century colonial history. It is frequently used in business, education, science, and administration, and many Moroccans are bilingual in Arabic and French. Literary traditions in Morocco extend back many centuries. Classical Arabic scholarship flourished in historic centers such as Fez, which was once one of the most important intellectual centers in the Islamic world. Oral storytelling traditions also remain an important part of Moroccan culture. In public squares such as Jamar El Fnar in Marrakesh, storytellers historically gathered crowds by recounting folktales, historical legends, and moral stories passed down through generations. Modern Moroccan literature often explores themes such as identity, migration, tradition, and social change. Contemporary writers produce works in Arabic, French, and Amazigh languages, reflecting the country's multilingual character. Together, Morocco's linguistic and literary traditions illustrate a society shaped by centuries of cultural exchange, intellectual scholarship, and storytelling. Customs and etiquette. Social customs in Morocco are shaped by centuries of tradition, religious influence, and strong community values. Respect, hospitality, and family ties are central to everyday life across the country. Hospitality is one of the most important cultural values in Moroccan society. Guests are traditionally welcomed with Moroccan mint tea, often served with sweets or pastries. Offering tea is considered a sign of generosity and friendship, and visitors are frequently invited to share food or conversation. Greetings are also an important social custom. Handshakes are common between men, while close friends or relatives may greet each other with light cheek kisses. It is customary to ask about a person's health and family before moving on to other topics of conversation. Respect for elders is deeply embedded in Moroccan culture. Younger people are expected to show politeness and consideration toward older members of society, and family relationships often play a central role in community life. Dress customs in Morocco vary between urban and rural areas but generally reflect modesty. Traditional garments such as the djellaba, a long hooded robe, are commonly worn by both men and women. In modern cities, Western clothing is also widely seen, though modest dress is still appreciated, particularly in religious or rural settings. Religious customs also influence daily routines. Morocco is a predominantly Muslim country, and Islamic traditions shape many aspects of public life. During the holy month of Ramadan, for example, many Moroccans fast from sunrise to sunset. Dining customs often involve shared meals. Food is traditionally eaten from a communal dish, with diners using bread to scoop food rather than individual utensils. Understanding and respecting these customs helps visitors appreciate the social values that underpin Moroccan culture, where community, tradition, and hospitality remain central to daily life. Sports and leisure. Sport and outdoor recreation are an important part of life in Morocco, reflecting both the country's strong sporting culture and its varied landscapes. The most popular sport in Morocco is football, soccer. The national team, known as the Atlas Lions, has achieved notable international success and enjoys widespread support across the country. Major matches often attract large crowds, and football is played informally in neighborhoods, schoolyards, and open spaces throughout cities and towns. Professional football clubs also compete in national leagues, and stadiums in major cities host large sporting events. The sport has become a major source of national pride, especially during international competitions. Beyond football, Morocco's diverse geography offers a wide range of outdoor activities. The Atlas Mountains provide opportunities for trekking, mountain climbing, and nature exploration. Hiking routes pass through valleys, forests, and traditional Berber villages, making the region popular with both local and international adventurers. Desert tourism is another important leisure activity. In the southeastern regions near the Sahara Desert, travelers often take part in camel treks, desert camping, and sandboarding on large dunes. These activities allow visitors to experience the vast landscapes and cultural traditions of Morocco's desert communities. Along the Atlantic coast, water sports are also popular. The coastal town of Tagazout has become an internationally recognized destination for surfing, thanks to consistent ocean swells and scenic beaches. Other recreational activities include cycling, horseback riding, and exploring historic cities and cultural sites. Traditional games and local sporting events are also common in rural communities. Together, sports and leisure in Morocco reflect both modern sporting enthusiasm and the country's unique natural environments, offering activities that range from stadium football to desert adventure. Handicrafts and traditions. Traditional handicrafts remain an important part of the cultural and economic life of Morocco. Across the country, artisans continue to practice centuries-old techniques passed down through generations, producing handmade goods that reflect Morocco's artistic heritage. One of the most famous Moroccan crafts is carpet weaving. Hand-woven carpets are traditionally produced by Amazigh, Berber communities, particularly in rural areas of the Atlas Mountains. Each region has distinctive patterns and colors that often carry symbolic meanings connected to family history, nature, or tribal identity. Leather craftsmanship is another well-known Moroccan tradition. The historic tanneries of Fez are among the oldest in the world, where artisans still use traditional methods to dye and treat leather. These workshops produce a wide range of items including bags, belts, slippers, and decorative goods. Ceramics and pottery are also widely produced throughout Morocco. Skilled craftsmen shape clay into plates, bowls, and decorative objects, often hand-painted with geometric patterns or traditional motifs. Cities such as Fez and Sophie are particularly known for their ceramic traditions. Metalwork represents another important craft. In traditional markets, known as souks, artisans create lanterns, trays, teapots, and other decorative items using brass, copper, and silver. These objects often feature intricate designs that reflect Islamic geometric art. Textiles and embroidery also play a role in Morocco's craft heritage. Traditional clothing, woven fabrics, and decorative textiles are produced in both rural workshops and urban artisan districts. Many of these crafts are still made in the medinas of historic cities such as Marrakesh and Fez, where narrow streets contain workshops and market stalls selling handmade goods. Handicrafts in Morocco are therefore not only artistic traditions but also important expressions of cultural identity and local heritage. Architecture through the ages. The architecture of Morocco reflects a long history shaped by Berber traditions, Islamic design, Andalusian influences, and later European contact. Over centuries, these cultural layers have produced a distinctive architectural style that combines geometric decoration, intricate craftsmanship, and functional adaptation to climate. One of the most recognizable forms of traditional Moroccan architecture is the kasbah, a fortified structure historically used as a defensive residence or community stronghold. These buildings were often constructed from rammed earth or clay and were designed to withstand both conflict and the harsh desert climate. A famous example is Ait Ben Haddou, a UNESCO-listed fortified village located along an ancient caravan route between the Sahara and Marrakesh. Morocco's historic cities, known as medinas, also represent an important architectural tradition. The Fez Medina is one of the largest and best preserved medieval urban areas in the world. Its narrow streets, traditional houses, and bustling markets reflect a city design that dates back many centuries. Another distinctive feature of Moroccan architecture is the riad, a traditional house built around a central courtyard. Riads are designed to provide privacy and cool indoor spaces in hot climates. Courtyards often include fountains, mosaic tilework, and lush plants, creating peaceful interior environments. Religious architecture is also highly significant. One of the most impressive examples is the Hassan II Mosque in Casablanca. Built partly over the Atlantic Ocean, it is one of the largest mosques in the world and features a towering minaret that dominates the city skyline. Decorative arts are central to Moroccan architecture. Buildings are often adorned with detailed zellige mosaic tiles, carved plasterwork and wooden ceilings, reflecting centuries of artistic craftsmanship. Modern architecture in Morocco blends these traditional design elements with contemporary construction techniques. In major cities, modern buildings coexist alongside historic medinas and centuries-old monuments. Together, Morocco's architecture tells the story of a country shaped by trade, religion, and cultural exchange, where historic traditions continue to influence modern design. Ancient origins. The earliest history of Morocco stretches back thousands of years, long before the rise of modern states or empires. Archaeological discoveries show that human communities inhabited this region during prehistoric times, taking advantage of fertile valleys, coastal plains, and mountain environments. The first known inhabitants were the Amazigh people, often referred to historically as Berbers. These communities developed across North Africa thousands of years ago and established agricultural settlements, trade networks, and tribal societies throughout the region. Their descendants continue to form an important part of Morocco's population today. Evidence of early human activity has been found in caves and desert rock formations across Morocco, including ancient tools, cave art, and carvings that provide insight into prehistoric life. These discoveries indicate that early inhabitants hunted wildlife, gathered plants, and gradually developed farming techniques in suitable regions. By the first millennium BCE, Morocco began to interact with Mediterranean civilizations. Seafaring traders from the eastern Mediterranean established small coastal trading posts along the Atlantic and Mediterranean shores. One notable archaeological site is Lixus, located near the Atlantic coast. This settlement served as an important trading hub connecting North Africa with the wider Mediterranean world. Later, the region became part of the Roman sphere of influence. The city of Volubilis developed into a prosperous Roman settlement known for its agricultural production and impressive architecture. Today, its ruins remain among the best preserved Roman archaeological sites in North Africa. Even during these periods of foreign influence, Amazigh communities continued to inhabit rural and mountainous regions, maintaining local traditions and social structures. Morocco's ancient origins therefore represent a blend of indigenous Amazigh heritage and early Mediterranean cultural contact, laying the foundations for the complex history that would follow in later centuries. Kingdoms and empires. Throughout its history, Morocco was shaped by powerful kingdoms and dynasties that controlled large parts of North Africa and even regions of southern Europe. These empires established cities, trade networks, and cultural traditions that continue to influence Moroccan society today. After the decline of Roman influence in North Africa, local Amazigh kingdoms gradually emerged across the region. These early political structures were often organized around tribal alliances and regional rulers who governed fertile valleys, caravan routes, and coastal cities. A major transformation occurred during the 7th and 8th centuries with the arrival of Islam. Arab armies and missionaries introduced the Islamic faith, which gradually spread throughout the region and became a central part of Moroccan culture and governance. One of the earliest major Islamic dynasties to rise in Morocco was the Almoravid dynasty, founded in the 11th century by Amazigh leaders from the Sahara. The Almoravids built a vast empire stretching from present-day Morocco across much of North Africa and into parts of southern Spain. During their rule, the city of Marrakesh was founded and became an important political and cultural center. The Almoravids were later succeeded by the powerful Almohad Caliphate in the 12th century. The Almohads expanded the empire further and constructed monumental architecture throughout their territories. Structures such as the Hassan Tower in Rabat remain important examples of their architectural legacy. Following the Almohads, several other dynasties ruled Morocco, including the Marinid and Saadian dynasties. These rulers strengthened Morocco's cities, developed trade networks across the Sahara, and encouraged scholarship and learning in cities such as Fez. These medieval empires helped establish Morocco as a powerful and influential state in the Western Islamic world. They shaped the country's political institutions, architecture, cultural traditions, and trade connections with Europe and sub-Saharan Africa. The legacy of these dynasties remains visible today in Morocco's historic cities, monuments, and enduring cultural traditions. Colonial and foreign influence. From the late 19th century onward, Morocco became increasingly influenced by European political and economic interests. Its strategic location near the Strait of Gibraltar made the country important to European powers seeking access to trade routes between the Atlantic Ocean and the Mediterranean. During this period, several European countries competed for influence in Morocco. France and Spain were particularly active, establishing commercial relationships and diplomatic agreements with Moroccan rulers while gradually increasing their political presence. In 1912, Morocco formally became a protectorate divided between two European powers. France established the French protectorate in Morocco, which controlled the majority of the country, including major cities such as Casablanca, Rabat, and Marrakesh. Spain governed smaller regions in the north and south known as the Spanish Protectorate in Morocco. Under the French administration, Morocco saw significant infrastructure development. Roads, railways, and modern ports were constructed, and new European-style districts were built alongside historic medinas. Cities such as Casablanca expanded rapidly and became important commercial centers. Meanwhile, the northern city of Tangier developed a unique political status as the Tangier International Zone, governed jointly by several European powers. This made Tangier an important diplomatic and commercial hub during the early 20th century. Although European control brought modernization in infrastructure and administration, it also limited Moroccan sovereignty and political independence. Many Moroccans resisted colonial rule, leading to growing nationalist movements during the early and mid-20th century. The period of foreign influence therefore reshaped Morocco's cities, economy, and political structure while setting the stage for later independence movements. Struggles and revolutions. During the early 20th century, growing opposition to colonial rule led to several resistance movements across Morocco. These struggles were driven by a desire to restore Moroccan sovereignty and preserve national identity in the face of foreign control. One of the earliest and most significant uprisings occurred in northern Morocco during the Rif War. In this conflict, Amazigh fighters from the Rif Mountains resisted Spanish colonial forces. The movement was led by Abd el-Krim, a political and military leader who successfully organized local tribes into a coordinated resistance force. Under Abd el-Krim's leadership, the rebels established the short-lived Republic of the Rif, an independent state in northern Morocco that challenged colonial authority. Although the Republic eventually fell after a joint French and Spanish military campaign, the uprising became an important symbol of resistance throughout the region. Resistance to colonial rule continued in various forms throughout the country. In the decades that followed, Moroccan nationalist movements began to develop in cities and political institutions. Intellectuals, activists, and political leaders increasingly called for independence and political reform. A key figure in the independence movement was Mohammed V, who became a symbol of national unity and resistance against colonial administration. His support for Moroccan sovereignty strengthened the independence movement and helped rally public support. By the 1950s, growing international pressure and internal resistance forced colonial powers to reconsider their control. Political negotiations and public demonstrations gradually led to the dismantling of the protectorate system. These struggles played a crucial role in shaping modern Moroccan identity and paved the way for the country's eventual independence. Modern nationhood. The modern state of Morocco emerged in the mid-20th century following the end of European colonial rule. After decades of political pressure, resistance movements, and diplomatic negotiations, Morocco regained its independence from France and Spain in 1956. A central figure in this transition was Mohammed V, who had become a powerful symbol of Moroccan unity and resistance during the final years of the protectorate period. His return from exile in 1955 helped galvanize the independence movement and paved the way for the restoration of Moroccan sovereignty. Following independence, Morocco re-established itself as a constitutional monarchy. The monarchy remained the central institution of political authority, with the king acting as both head of state and an important national figure representing stability and continuity. After the death of Mohammed V in 1961, his son Hassan II ascended to the throne. During his long reign, Morocco experienced significant political, economic, and infrastructural development. New roads, ports, and cities expanded as the country modernized while maintaining traditional institutions. Morocco also strengthened its international relationships during this period, becoming an active member of regional and global organizations and developing trade partnerships with Europe, Africa, and the Middle East. Today, Morocco remains a constitutional monarchy under Mohammed VI, who became king in 1999. Under his leadership, the country has pursued economic reforms, infrastructure development, and social initiatives aimed at improving living standards and modernizing the national economy. Modern Moroccan nationhood therefore represents a balance between historical monarchy, cultural traditions, and ongoing development within a rapidly changing world. Today's identity. Today, Morocco is a dynamic nation that balances deep historical traditions with modern development. Positioned at the crossroads of Africa, Europe, and the Middle East, Morocco has developed a national identity shaped by geography, culture, and centuries of exchange with neighboring regions. Modern Moroccan society reflects a blend of Amazigh, Berber, Arab, African, and European influences. These cultural layers are visible in language, cuisine, music, clothing, and daily customs across the country. Traditional practices continue to play an important role in community life, particularly in rural regions and historic medinas. At the same time, Morocco has experienced rapid economic and infrastructural development in recent decades. Major cities such as Casablanca, Rabat, and Marrakesh have expanded significantly, with modern business districts, universities, and transport networks supporting economic growth. One example of this modernization is the Al Borak, Africa's first high-speed railway line, connecting major northern cities and reducing travel times across the country. Infrastructure projects such as highways, ports, and renewable energy facilities have also strengthened Morocco's regional influence. Tourism continues to be a major part of the national economy, with visitors drawn to the country's historic cities, desert landscapes, coastal resorts, and mountain regions. Morocco also plays an important diplomatic and economic role in North Africa. Its location near the Strait of Gibraltar allows the country to maintain strong trade connections with Europe while also expanding partnerships across the African continent. Despite rapid modernization, Morocco maintains strong cultural continuity. Historic medinas, traditional crafts, and centuries-old customs remain central to the nation's identity. Today's Morocco therefore represents a unique combination of tradition and progress, a country rooted in its history while continuing to evolve in a modern global context. Top cities, towns, and villages. Across Morocco, cities, towns, and villages reflect the country's long history, diverse geography, and cultural traditions. From ancient imperial capitals to coastal trading ports and mountain settlements, each location offers a unique perspective on Moroccan life. One of Morocco's most famous cities is Marrakesh, often called the Red City because of the color of its historic walls and buildings. Founded in the 11th century, Marrakesh was once the capital of powerful dynasties and remains one of the country's most important cultural and tourism centers. Its historic medina, markets, and palaces attract visitors from around the world. Another major historic center is Fez, one of the oldest imperial cities in Morocco. Fez is home to one of the largest medieval medinas in the world and has long been known as a center of scholarship, religion, and traditional craftsmanship. The country's largest city and economic hub is Casablanca, located along the Atlantic coast. Casablanca developed rapidly during the 20th century and today serves as Morocco's main commercial and financial center. In northern Morocco, the coastal city of Tangier overlooks the Strait of Gibraltar, where the Mediterranean Sea meets the Atlantic Ocean. Historically, Tangier has served as an important gateway between Africa and Europe. Smaller towns also play an important role in Morocco's cultural landscape. The mountain town of Chefchaouen, located in the Rif Mountains, is famous for its blue-painted buildings and scenic setting. Meanwhile, the coastal town of Essaouira is known for its historic harbor, windswept beaches, and relaxed atmosphere. Beyond these larger centers, thousands of villages are scattered across Morocco's mountains, deserts, and valleys. Many of these communities preserve traditional architecture, agriculture, and cultural practices that have remained largely unchanged for generations. Together, Morocco's cities and villages illustrate the country's rich diversity, from bustling urban centers to quiet mountain settlements and historic coastal towns. Historic and cultural landmarks. The landscape of Morocco is filled with historic landmarks that reflect centuries of cultural development, religious traditions, and architectural achievement. Many of these sites have been preserved for generations and are recognized as important parts of the country's national heritage. One of Morocco's most impressive modern landmarks is the Hassan II Mosque, located in the coastal city of Casablanca. Completed in 1993, the mosque features one of the tallest minarets in the world and stands partly over the Atlantic Ocean. Its intricate mosaics, carved stone, and traditional craftsmanship reflect centuries of Moroccan architectural traditions. In the historic city of Marrakesh, the Koutoubia Mosque dominates the skyline with its iconic minaret. Built in the 12th century during the Almohad dynasty, the mosque remains one of the most important religious and architectural monuments in the country. Morocco is also home to several UNESCO World Heritage Sites. One of the most famous is Ait Ben Haddou, a fortified village made of earth and clay buildings that once served as a key stop along Saharan trade routes. Its striking architecture has made it a popular filming location for international films and television series. Another major heritage site is the Fez Medina, one of the best preserved medieval cities in the world. The Medina's labyrinth of narrow streets contains mosques, markets, schools, and workshops that have functioned continuously for centuries. Across the country, other historic landmarks include royal palaces, ancient kasbah fortresses, traditional gardens, and centuries-old caravan routes linking cities with the Sahara. These landmarks provide insight into Morocco's long history and highlight the artistic and cultural achievements of the civilizations that shaped the nation. Hidden gems. Beyond the well-known cities and landmarks, Morocco contains many lesser-known locations that reveal quieter sides of the country's landscapes and traditions. These hidden gems often lie away from the busiest tourist routes and offer insight into Morocco's natural beauty and rural life. One remarkable location is the Dades Valley, located in the eastern foothills of the Atlas Mountains. Known as the Valley of 1,000 Kasbahs, this region features dramatic red rock cliffs, winding mountain roads, and traditional fortified villages. The valley's fertile land supports orchards and small farming communities surrounded by rugged canyon scenery. In northern Morocco, the waterfalls and mountain scenery of Ochre attract visitors seeking natural beauty and hiking trails. Located in the Rif Mountains near Chefchaouen, Ochre is known for its turquoise pools, rocky gorges, and lush vegetation. Along the Atlantic coast, Lexra Beach stands out for its dramatic red sandstone arches formed by wind and ocean erosion. The beach offers spectacular views at sunset and is considered one of the most scenic coastal landscapes in the country. Further south in the Anti-Atlas Mountains lies the small town of Tafroud, surrounded by unusual pink granite rock formations. The region is known for its peaceful mountain scenery, traditional Amazigh culture, and quiet rural atmosphere. These hidden locations reveal a different side of Morocco, one where remote landscapes, small villages, and natural beauty provide experiences far removed from the country's busy imperial cities. Exploring these lesser-known destinations allows travelers to appreciate Morocco's geographical diversity and cultural richness beyond its most famous landmarks. Adventure and activities. The diverse landscapes of Morocco provide a wide range of opportunities for adventure and outdoor activities. From high mountain trekking to desert exploration and coastal sports, the country's geography allows travelers to experience many different environments within a single journey. One of the most iconic experiences in Morocco is exploring the Sahara Desert. Visitors often travel to the southeastern desert regions to see vast dune fields such as Erg Chetbi. Camel treks across the dunes are a traditional way to explore the desert landscape, often leading to overnight camps where travelers can experience the quiet atmosphere of the Sahara beneath clear star-filled skies. The Atlas Mountains provide some of the best trekking opportunities in North Africa. Trails cross high passes, remote valleys, and Amazigh villages where traditional lifestyles are still preserved. Multi-day hikes in the High Atlas region often include attempts to summit Mount Toubkal, the tallest peak in the region. Morocco's Atlantic coastline also offers excellent conditions for water sports. The coastal town of Tagazout has become internationally known for its surfing. Consistent ocean swells and mild weather make the region one of the most popular surfing destinations in North Africa. Other adventure activities include sandboarding on desert dunes, rock climbing in mountain gorges, cycling across mountain passes, and exploring palm-filled oasis valleys. Because Morocco's landscapes are so varied, travelers can combine several different types of adventure within a single trip: trekking in mountains, surfing along the coast, and crossing desert dunes, all within the same country. Cultural experiences. Experiencing everyday culture is an important part of visiting Morocco. Across cities, villages, and desert regions, traditions remain deeply embedded in daily life and offer insight into the country's heritage. One of the most distinctive cultural environments in Morocco is the Medina, the historic old quarter found in many cities. These districts contain narrow streets filled with markets known as souks, where artisans sell handmade goods such as carpets, ceramics, leather products, and spices. Cities like Marrakesh and Fez are particularly famous for their vibrant Medina markets. Another important cultural tradition is the hammam, a public bathhouse that has long played a role in Moroccan social life. Hammams are used for relaxation, cleansing, and community gatherings, and many neighborhoods maintain traditional bathhouses that follow centuries-old practices. Hospitality is also a central part of Moroccan culture. Visitors are often welcomed with Moroccan mint tea, prepared with green tea, fresh mint leaves, and sugar. The tea ceremony represents friendship and generosity and is an essential element of social interaction. In rural and desert regions, cultural traditions reflect nomadic and Amazigh lifestyles. Travelers visiting the edge of the Sahara Desert may encounter traditional desert camps, camel caravans, and communities whose livelihoods have long been connected to caravan trade routes and oasis agriculture. Music, storytelling, and festivals also form part of everyday cultural life. Public squares and marketplaces often host performers, musicians, and storytellers who continue oral traditions that date back centuries. Together, these cultural experiences provide a deeper understanding of Moroccan society, where history, hospitality, and community traditions remain central to daily life. Bucket list highlights. Across Morocco, travelers can experience an extraordinary range of landscapes, cultures, and historic cities. From ancient medinas to vast desert dunes and high mountain peaks, the country offers unforgettable experiences that highlight its rich heritage and natural diversity. One of the most iconic experiences is exploring the famous Jamar El Fnar in Marrakesh. By day, the square hosts market stalls, storytellers, and street performers, while at night it transforms into a lively food market filled with music, cooking, and crowds gathering to enjoy traditional Moroccan dishes. A journey into the Sahara Desert is another unforgettable highlight. Camel treks across the dunes of Ochre allow travelers to experience the vast silence of the desert before spending the night in traditional camps beneath the stars. For adventure seekers, climbing Mount Toubkal offers a rewarding challenge. Located in the High Atlas Mountains, the summit provides panoramic views across rugged mountain landscapes and valleys below. Visitors seeking a unique town experience often travel to Chefchaouen, a mountain settlement famous for its blue-painted buildings. The city's colorful streets, peaceful atmosphere, and scenic setting in the Rif Mountains make it one of Morocco's most photographed destinations. Other memorable experiences include exploring ancient kasbahs, walking through historic medinas, visiting coastal towns along the Atlantic Ocean, and discovering traditional markets filled with spices, crafts, and textiles. These highlights capture the essence of Morocco, a country where ancient traditions, natural beauty, and vibrant culture combine to create unforgettable travel experiences. Money and currency. The official currency of Morocco is the Moroccan dirham, MAD. The dirham is issued by the Central Bank of Morocco and is used throughout the country for everyday transactions, from markets and shops to hotels and transportation services. Cash remains the most common form of payment in many parts of Morocco, particularly in traditional markets and smaller towns. In the historic medinas and local souks, vendors often prefer cash payments, especially for smaller purchases such as food, crafts, or textiles. In larger cities such as Casablanca, Rabat, and Marrakesh, credit and debit cards are widely accepted in hotels, restaurants, and modern shopping centers. However, travelers often carry cash when visiting markets or rural areas where electronic payments may not be available. Automated teller machines, ATMs, are widely available in major cities and tourist areas. Currency exchange services can also be found at airports, banks, and licensed exchange offices. It is generally recommended to exchange money through official institutions to ensure fair rates and secure transactions. Tipping is a common custom in Morocco and is considered a sign of appreciation for service. Small tips are often given to restaurant staff, hotel employees, guides, and taxi drivers. Morocco maintains certain regulations on its currency. The Moroccan dirham is considered a closed currency, meaning it is normally exchanged within the country rather than traded internationally. Understanding local payment practices helps visitors navigate Morocco's markets, shops, and services with ease. Transport and getting around. Transport across Morocco combines modern infrastructure with traditional travel methods adapted to the country's varied landscapes. Roads, railways, and airports connect major cities, while smaller towns and rural areas rely on regional transport services. One of the most modern elements of Morocco's transport system is its railway network. The national railway operator connects major cities such as Casablanca, Rabat, Tangier, and Marrakesh. Morocco also operates Africa's first high-speed railway line, the Al Borak, which significantly reduces travel time between northern cities. Buses provide another major form of transportation across the country. Long-distance bus companies operate extensive routes connecting cities, towns, and remote regions. These services are widely used by both residents and visitors traveling between destinations. Road travel is also common, with highways linking major urban areas. Rental cars are available in cities and airports, allowing travelers to explore the country's mountains, valleys, and coastal routes independently. Within cities, taxis are widely used. Small city taxis known as petit taxis operate within urban areas, while larger grand taxis often travel between towns and villages. These shared taxis have long been an important part of local transport systems. Morocco also has several international airports serving major cities. The largest is Mohammed V International Airport, located near Casablanca, which functions as the country's main aviation hub. In desert regions, traditional forms of transport such as camel caravans are still used for tourism and cultural experiences, particularly in areas near the Sahara Desert. Together, these transport systems make it possible to travel efficiently across Morocco's diverse landscapes, from coastal cities to remote desert settlements. Visa and entry requirements. Visitors entering Morocco must comply with national immigration regulations that govern tourism, business travel, and longer stays. Entry requirements vary depending on nationality, but many travelers are able to visit Morocco relatively easily for short-term tourism. Citizens of many countries, including the United Kingdom, the United States, Canada, and several European nations, can enter Morocco without a visa for short stays. Tourists from these countries are typically permitted to remain in Morocco for up to 90 days for travel or leisure purposes. All visitors must present a valid passport upon arrival. The passport should remain valid for the duration of the visit, and immigration authorities may request proof of onward travel or accommodation details when entering the country. Most international travelers arrive by air through major airports such as Mohammed V International Airport near Casablanca. Other airports in cities such as Marrakesh, Rabat, and Tangier also receive international flights. Morocco can also be entered by sea from Europe. Ferry routes cross the Strait of Gibraltar, connecting Morocco with southern Spain through ports such as Tangier Med Port. Travelers intending to work, study, or remain in Morocco for extended periods must obtain the appropriate permits through Moroccan authorities. Entry procedures at airports and ports generally involve passport control and a simple arrival process. Immigration officers may ask questions regarding the purpose of travel and intended length of stay. Understanding entry requirements in advance helps ensure a smooth arrival when visiting Morocco. Safety and health. Overall, Morocco is considered a relatively safe destination for travelers, particularly in major cities and well-known tourist areas. As in most countries, visitors are encouraged to follow common travel precautions and remain aware of their surroundings. Petty crimes such as pickpocketing can occasionally occur in crowded areas, including busy markets and transportation hubs. Historic districts such as Medinas can become crowded, so keeping valuables secure and avoiding isolated streets late at night is advisable. Police presence is visible in many tourist locations, and Moroccan authorities maintain dedicated tourist police units in major cities such as Marrakesh and Fez. These units help assist travelers and maintain safety in areas frequently visited by tourists. Healthcare services in Morocco range from modern hospitals in major cities to smaller clinics in rural areas. Large cities such as Casablanca and Rabat have well-equipped private hospitals that provide a high standard of care. Pharmacies are widely available and often serve as the first point of contact for minor health concerns. Because Morocco's climate can vary greatly depending on location, travelers should prepare for different weather conditions. In desert regions, daytime temperatures can become extremely hot, making hydration and sun protection essential. In mountain regions such as the Atlas Mountains, temperatures may drop significantly, particularly during winter months. Travelers are typically advised to obtain comprehensive travel insurance before visiting Morocco. Insurance coverage can help ensure access to private medical facilities and emergency assistance if required. By following sensible precautions and preparing for local environmental conditions, most visitors can travel throughout Morocco safely and comfortably. Communication. Communication systems in Morocco combine traditional multilingual culture with modern telecommunications infrastructure. Mobile networks, internet services, and broadcast media are widely available across most parts of the country. Several languages are commonly used in Morocco. The official languages are Arabic and Berber, also known as Amazigh. Moroccan Arabic, often referred to as Darija, is widely spoken in everyday conversations. Amazigh languages are used in many rural regions, particularly in the Atlas Mountains and other traditional Amazigh communities. French is also widely used in Moroccan society. It remains an important language in business, higher education, government administration, and the media. Many public signs, official documents, and newspapers appear in both Arabic and French. Mobile phone coverage is extensive across the country, including major cities, highways, and many rural areas. Telecommunications providers offer voice, messaging, and mobile data services, allowing residents and visitors to remain connected while traveling. Internet access is widely available in urban areas through mobile networks, hotels, cafes, and internet centers. Many businesses, restaurants, and guest houses provide Wi-Fi services for customers. Television, radio, and newspapers are also important communication channels. Moroccan media includes both state-run and private outlets, broadcasting news, entertainment, and cultural programming in multiple languages. Because Morocco sits at a crossroads between Africa and Europe, communication networks play a vital role in connecting the country with global information and commerce. Local laws and customs. The legal and social framework of Morocco reflects a combination of Islamic traditions, historical monarchy, and modern national legislation. Visitors are expected to respect both official laws and local cultural customs when traveling in the country. Morocco is a constitutional monarchy with a legal system influenced by Islamic law, French legal traditions, and modern national legislation. Laws are enforced by local police and national authorities, particularly in cities and tourist areas. Public behavior is generally expected to be respectful and modest. While major cities are relatively relaxed, conservative social norms still influence daily life. Visitors are encouraged to dress modestly, particularly when visiting religious sites or rural communities. Clothing that covers shoulders and knees is typically considered appropriate in many settings. Religious customs are also an important part of Moroccan society. As a predominantly Muslim country, public respect for religious practices is expected. During the holy month of Ramadan, many Moroccans fast during daylight hours, and visitors are encouraged to be mindful of local customs during this time. Photography is generally allowed in public areas, but visitors should ask permission before photographing individuals, particularly in rural communities or traditional markets. Certain activities that may be common in other countries can be restricted in Morocco. For example, drug possession is illegal and carries severe penalties. Travelers should also be aware of restrictions regarding alcohol consumption in public spaces. Respect for local traditions, religion, and community values helps visitors experience Morocco in a positive and culturally sensitive way. Time, power, and connectivity. Modern infrastructure across Morocco supports reliable electricity supply and growing digital connectivity. These systems allow residents and visitors to remain connected while traveling across cities, mountains, and coastal regions. Morocco operates on Western European time, WET, which corresponds to UTC+0 during part of the year. The country often adjusts its clocks seasonally, typically observing daylight-saving style adjustments connected to its administrative calendar. This means the time difference between Morocco and European countries may vary slightly depending on the season. Electricity in Morocco is supplied at 220 volts with a frequency of 50 Hz, which is similar to the electrical systems used in most European countries. The most common plug types used throughout the country are Type C and Type E, both of which are common across continental Europe. Travelers from countries that use different plug standards may need a universal travel adapter to connect electronic devices. Most modern hotels and accommodations provide multiple power outlets suitable for charging phones, laptops, and other electronics. Internet connectivity has expanded significantly in recent years. Major cities such as Casablanca, Rabat, and Marrakesh offer widespread mobile data coverage and Wi-Fi services in hotels, cafes, and public spaces. Mobile networks also extend across many highways and rural regions, although connection speeds may vary in remote mountain or desert areas. Overall, Morocco's infrastructure provides reliable electricity and growing digital access, supporting both modern economic activity and tourism across the country. Accommodation options. Accommodation in Morocco ranges from traditional historic houses to modern hotels and unique desert camps. The variety of lodging options reflects the country's diverse landscapes and long tradition of hospitality. One of the most distinctive forms of accommodation is the riad, a traditional Moroccan house built around a central courtyard. Riads are commonly found in the historic medinas of cities such as Marrakesh and Fez. Many have been carefully restored and converted into small boutique guesthouses. Their quiet interior courtyards, decorative tilework, and rooftop terraces provide a peaceful retreat from the busy streets outside. In larger cities such as Casablanca and Rabat, visitors will find a wide range of modern hotels, international chains, and luxury accommodations offering contemporary facilities. For travelers exploring the Sahara region, desert camps provide a unique overnight experience. These camps, often located near the dunes of Ochre, offer traditional-style tents equipped with beds, dining areas, and sometimes modern amenities. Staying in a desert camp allows visitors to experience the quiet beauty of the desert landscape and clear night skies. In mountainous regions such as the Atlas Mountains, small guesthouses and eco-lodges provide accommodation for trekkers and travelers seeking rural experiences. These lodgings are often run by local families and offer views of valleys, villages, and mountain scenery. Along Morocco's long Atlantic coastline, beach resorts and surf lodges can also be found in towns such as Essaouira and Tagazout. This wide range of accommodation options allows travelers to choose experiences that reflect Morocco's cultural heritage, natural landscapes, and modern tourism industry. Food and water safety. Food is an important part of daily life in Morocco, and visitors will find a wide range of traditional dishes, markets, and restaurants across the country. While Moroccan cuisine is widely enjoyed by travelers, it is helpful to follow basic food and water safety precautions when visiting. Tap water in Morocco is generally treated and safe for local residents, but many travelers prefer to drink bottled water. Bottled water is widely available in shops, restaurants, and hotels throughout the country and is commonly used by visitors to avoid stomach discomfort. Street food is a popular part of Moroccan culture, especially in busy market areas and public squares such as Jamar El Fnar in Marrakesh. Visitors can often enjoy grilled meats, pastries, soups, and freshly prepared dishes from street vendors. Choosing stalls that appear busy and well-maintained can help ensure food is freshly prepared and safe to eat. Fresh fruits and vegetables are widely available in markets and restaurants. Travelers who purchase produce from local markets may prefer to wash or peel fruits before eating them. Restaurants in tourist areas and major cities typically maintain good hygiene standards. International hotels and established restaurants often follow food safety practices similar to those found in many Western countries. Travelers exploring rural areas or remote regions may encounter more basic facilities. In such locations, it is especially important to pay attention to food preparation and water sources. Basic precautions such as drinking bottled water, washing hands regularly, and eating freshly cooked food can help ensure a comfortable culinary experience while exploring Morocco. Useful apps and resources. Traveling through Morocco is easier with the help of modern mobile applications and digital resources. Smartphones and internet connectivity allow visitors to navigate cities, communicate across languages, and organize transportation throughout the country. Navigation apps are particularly useful when exploring Morocco's busy cities and historic medinas. Applications such as Google Maps help travelers find routes between locations, locate restaurants, hotels, and attractions, and estimate travel times across urban areas. Translation tools can also be valuable when communicating with local residents. Although many Moroccans speak multiple languages, translation apps can help visitors understand signs, menus, or conversations when Arabic or Amazigh is used. Transport planning apps assist travelers in booking trains, buses, and taxis between major destinations such as Casablanca, Rabat, and Marrakesh. These tools provide schedules, ticket information, and route options for moving around the country efficiently. Travel review platforms are also widely used by visitors to find reliable accommodation, restaurants, and attractions. Reading recent reviews can help travelers choose reputable services and avoid common travel inconveniences. Weather apps can also be helpful, particularly for those traveling between Morocco's varied climates. Conditions in the Atlas Mountains, coastal regions, and the Sahara Desert can differ greatly, making up-to-date forecasts useful for planning activities. Together, these digital tools make it easier to explore Morocco's cities, mountains, and deserts while staying informed and connected throughout a journey. From the windswept dunes of the Sahara to the snow-dusted peaks of the Atlas Mountains, Morocco is a land of remarkable contrasts and enduring traditions. Across deserts, mountains, ancient cities, and coastal towns, the country reveals a cultural richness shaped by centuries of history, trade, and cultural exchange. Throughout this book we have explored Morocco's landscapes, wildlife, and natural wonders, along with the traditions, architecture, and communities that define the nation today. From the lively medinas filled with color, spices, and craftsmanship to the quiet mountain villages and desert oases, Morocco offers experiences that blend history, nature, and culture in extraordinary ways. The country's heritage is visible everywhere, in the intricate mosaic patterns decorating historic buildings, in the ancient kasbahs guarding desert valleys, and in the traditions of hospitality that welcome visitors with tea, food, and conversation. At the same time, modern cities and expanding infrastructure show how Morocco continues to grow while remaining deeply connected to its past. Whether you are drawn by the towering peaks of the Atlas Mountains, the endless sands of the Sahara, or the vibrant energy of historic cities such as Marrakesh and Fez, Morocco offers a journey filled with discovery and unforgettable landscapes. If you enjoyed learning about Morocco, be sure to like the video and subscribe to Apex Atlas for more journeys exploring the landscapes, history and cultures of countries around the world.